Good evening to all of you. It is indeed a privilege to welcome you all for the 15th anniversary of our company. It only seems the other day when I joined the company 8 years back. Time flies. For a specialized field like ours, 15 years is a big milestone. Earlier, interior designers and electrical contractors with the direct data fed by the luminaire manufacturers were acting as architectural lighting designers. But these days, we find a lot of architects are moving into the field, and it's very good for the lighting industry. AWA has been the pioneer in introducing concepts like architectural intervention and poetry in lighting design to bring out the best in architectural lighting. With newer light sources in the horizon and the increasing integration of electronics in lighting, a paradigm shift is taking place. We would be left behind if we do not update our skills on a continuous basis to stay relevant in the lighting design business. We have a lot of expertise, having successfully completed projects in 23 countries. We do not repeat our lighting design flavor, but come out with new ideas for every project, just like a music director does. Our captain, Mr. AWA, apart from being an architect from JJ and a master's in lighting science, has diverse tastes and is a big source of inspiration for all of us in the company. He, being an adjunct professor in Lighting Research Center in Troy, New York, helps us in anticipating future trends much ahead of the market. I can vouch for myself that I have learned many new skills during the time I spent in the company. I distinctly remember during my early days, during one of the concept presentation session for one of our important clients, I heard him highlighting the concept without having to use a typical lighting terminology like lamp, lumen, lux, uniformity, etc. He only used architectural vocabulary which was well appreciated by the client and the architect. It was an eye-opener for me, and I was amazed. According to him, that only if we grasp the poetry of the composition can we infuse a soul and evocativeness for the project. Until the architect's intent is clearly understood, the designer can never come out with a well-appreciated composition. Many times, under difficult circumstances, difficult situations in construction issues, his clear grasp of the architectural issues and the lighting requirement helped the company to come out with implementable solutions. Visiting our studio in New York, which also happens to be our headquarters, was a very rewarding experience. There is a storehouse of knowledge on lighting design and the work done on the various research topics our company is working on. I can go on and on, but I want you to enjoy the evening and also look at some of the projects we have completed in many parts of the world. Enjoy the evening. Thank you. Now I request our captain to come and share his thoughts how he built up this company.
Can you hear me okay? Yes. Yeah. Sitharaman sir is too kind. He's a source of inspiration for all of us. It's been 9 years, sir, not 8 years. 9 years since you've been here. No? Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. So, everybody can hear me okay? Yeah. This is really special for me. I'm, very, very happy to have all of you here. Special friends who started as clients or vendors or architects, but all friends. And we are very fortunate that we have, the exposure to the kind of people that make our projects what they are. Back in the day, there was a very wise man who told me, he says, "Abhay, always hang out with people who are smarter than you." And today is a situation like that. There are so many of you here who are so wonderful with their skill sets and talents and knowledge that I'm really thankful to all of you for coming here. We were super surprised that everybody came at 7. We thought everybody was going to start coming at 9 o'clock onwards because that's that's when it's a wedding season and traffic, and of course Ravi, my dear friend Ravi Punde, was there at 5 to 7, which is it's actually perfect because I've known him since 2000. I started the company in 2002, but I've known him since 2005. Where the first time he came, we went to a jazz club right next to where our studio was in Soho in New York, and started what was a great friendship. So it was wonderful that you came at 5 to 7 and you were the first guest. So welcome, Ravi, and thank you for your friendship, and for many of you, thank you for your friendship. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm just here to talk about two things. One is how did we start and what was the idea, and then where are we going? What's the future, right? Sitharaman sir was able to give you a good overview of what we've been doing, and I want to talk about where we're going, right? Okay, first, how did we start? The only reason I started AWA is because the company that I was working for did not want to do international work. So it wasn't that I had grand dreams and visions of making AWA what it is today. So it's not me, it's all of the people who work at AWA who have contributed to it. We started in our loft in Soho in New York City. We started with a plastic table, a plastic chair, and one Pentium 4 machine. I don't even know if some of you remember what a Pentium 4 was. It had 256 megabytes as a memory. It was pretty fun. That was 2002. And I did not want to start by taking clients from previous employees, right? So for the first couple of years, there were no vacations. They were sleeping on the floor. It was a special time and a lot of research, because what was I going to do with my time? I was going to do research. So we started actually a lot of our research work at that time, which has become something that we hold dear even today. We have 17 research topics within the office, within the 3 studios. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But when I started it, there were no grandiose visions of having 4 offices or 5 offices, etc. But we were very fortunate. We won design competitions in Hong Kong, in Dubai, and in the United States, which got us a lot of press. And by the time 2007 came around, before the crash, we were thinking that we had reached our 10-year goals in less than 5 years. But once you got to the goals, then the conversation ensued within us, within the core team. Some of them have been with me for over 10 years now, out of the 15. Is size really the answer? 4 million square feet in Hyderabad, a city for 100,000 people in Tehran in Saudi Arabia. Is size really the answer? Is that what AWA is about? And and over the years, we have been able to kind of fine-tune that size is, it's important, but it's not everything. What's really important for us now is having great relationships, being there for our clients, being there for our friends, and making sure that every time we work on a project, that we make it count. Because time once spent is never coming back, right? And every time you work on a project, it's a percentage of your working life. Because no one lives forever, everyone knows that, right? So, so make it add up to something, make it worthwhile. What we have now at AWA is a tremendous team. We're doing another party in New York, which is going to be bigger in that we're doing live music and a whole lot of other events. And all of you are invited. That's on the 12th of December, 12/12. But the teams that AWA has nurtured over the years are tremendous. They're some of the smartest people that I have met, hardworking, tough, because I'm not an easy guy to work for. And we are working towards not being the best in India, which you can be a judge whether we are or have been, but really to be able to do this internationally. And we don't look at ourselves as an American firm or an Indian firm or a Middle Eastern firm. We are a lighting design firm that believes in doing good work around the world with honesty and integrity and having a lot of fun while we're doing that. So where are we going? And then I'll stop. We have, over the last 2 or 3 years, started a couple of new verticals. One of them is healthy lighting, and we are fortunate that we are working on 3 big hospitals around the world. Healthy lighting is really health and wellness, that we're using light as a form of therapy. We're also working on infrastructural projects. That's our other vertical. This is another vertical that we're going to focus on with transportation projects. And in the last 2 months, the times must be getting better, or well, they've always been great, but they're getting even better now. That we have just landed 2 of the biggest transportation projects in the northeast of the United States. We also have a vertical on our research, which is 17 research topics, including one which, including 3 patents, well, 2 patent and 1 patent pending products. And one of our favorite research topic is light is my religion, which is what does light mean in different schools of philosophy. And besides that, we have a gallery in New York called Gallery AWA, which focuses on socially relevant topics, including modern day slavery, women artists on women topics, and so on and so forth. And you can get information on that at galleryawa.com. So the future is looking great for us, and we are really, really thankful for all the opportunities. And I'm really thankful to my team. We have the team from Delhi here, of course, all of the Bombay team, and Anuri, thank you for organizing a great event. The food is exceptional, the people here are exceptional. And excuse me. And I hope you would hang around till after, I think that's the pepper and the water chestnuts. And that you would hang around till later in the evening. I'm sure there are a lot more people coming because traffic and wedding season. So I'll end with just thanking my team again, thanking my friends again, thanking family for the support. Thanks, man. And we are looking forward to being meaningful in our zeitgeist. And the zeitgeist essentially is constantly changing. I used to tell people that the way the lighting design profession is practiced will be extinct by 2020 because the software will replace everybody. Right? You don't need a lighting designer as we defined it. Of course, every time I said that, they would jump on me and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Must be in India. And I said, no, I'm talking about New York. Excuse me. Sorry. But what we've been doing is working on future-proofing AWA. Future-proofing in that we don't want to be dinosaurs by the time, as the profession changes. So I'm feeling very confident and happy about how our team is responding to what the future holds. So again, thank you all for coming. I mean, all of our AWA team members, well, most of them are here. Not the New York team, but Delhi and Bombay. And please do mingle with them. Enjoy the great food. Lots of vegan dishes for those of you who have dairy issues, and Jain dishes. And of course, drinks. So, and we are open till 2 in the morning. So please don't stop the party. Okay? So thank you all for coming. And now for the magnum opus, it's working, right? 15 minutes. You don't have to stay focused. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. But you can walk around, have your drinks. We won't be insulted. But we're going to start that now. Yes?